It was so much going on. It's good look and it's bad look Monday. I want to hear from everybody today in terms of how was your weekend? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it okay? I just want to know because sometimes hopefully everybody had a great weekend, but sometimes life's just life. Sometimes gives you lemons. You got to make lemonade out of it. So that's what we got to do today, man. So 919-890-6200. Good luck, bad luck Monday. The conversation is still popping off about the different conferences, man. There's so much conversation about that. And my take on it, like I said, I had to pull back a little bit on the ACC because FSU came out strong, and I said, the ACC is going to be done in a year or two. But ACC kind of set themselves up where it's going to be extremely hard to lead the ACC. FSU, chancellor, president, and board of trustees came out pretty hard. It was like, it's not when, it's if, and it's not when, it's not if we do it, it's when and how we're gonna do it. I like, wow, those are strong words when you think about it. But at the end of the day, it may not be so strong. That there are two scenarios in D.L. Reese's opinion. One is that Florida State just blowing smoke and just bluffing and pushing people to the table to do some renegotiations as a ACC, as a league. Which, okay, that's cool because Florida State, now I don't have to pay the $120 million, as an exit fee, but then they're going to be on the hook for until 2036, which is stupid when I think about it, to pay these grant of rights back to the ACC. So my point is they could be like a half a billion, $500 million to lead the ACC. So you'll get $60 million a year. You go to Big Ten or these other schools, yeah, but you still got to pay back $30 million a year or whatever. It's you still gonna be on the hook to pay some money back, and that can go up to the 2036, which is ridiculous. Now, what I'm hearing though, it's always another part of the story. Again, D.L. Reese talking about ACC, talking about Florida State leading. There actually some mumblings about they're going to get up with a hedge fund or some kind of venture capital people who are going to invest, give them the money to leave the ACC. All right, we're going to give you $500 million so you can break. Now, going forward, we're going to be part of all the deals you get. We're going to invest in you and in perpetuity. I mean, like next 50, 100 years, you're going to be paying us back some money. Which, if it's $10 million a year, it may be a good deal for us. We make an additional 60, Anyway, my point is that may be a way to work around this, and that's always been the case. But it's going to be football. It's going to be different as we knew it, and it's crazy. Well, first of all, the Pac-12 is down to Pac-4. I think on Friday it was a Pac-8. No, let me think. Yeah, it was a Pac-8. Now they're down to Pac-4.
Everybody's running out of there.
I'm trying to tell you, Oregon, Washington State, Cal Berkeley, and Stanford are the only schools that left. They're the only schools that left, and it's kind of sad. It's really kind of sad. Arizona State, they petitioned to jump in the Big 12, where Colorado's already there. Washington and who was it? Washington and Oregon, they're in the Big 10. It's already done. So it's just a lot going on. But let's hear from Ian Fitzsimmons. Larry Scott is mostly to blame. Larry Scott, I think, is the commissioner of the Pac-12. Ian Fitzsimmons said Larry Scott's guy you got to point your finger at in terms of why all this mess is going on. Let's take a listen.
This all started when the Pac-12 hired Larry Scott, that astronomical salary, and he talked a great game, but he made so many mistakes, and he just absolutely started this entire downfall, brick by brick. I mean, putting the Pac-12 headquarters in a city that does not care about college football in San Francisco,
right,
with an astronomical rent number. You know, he's making $7.5 million. He took a bonus of like $2.5–3 million, and then the next day laid off a whole bunch of people. I mean, he's the one that started. He put the Pac-12 title game in San Francisco. I called 2 Pac-12 championship games that back-to-back years that had less than 40,000 people, half full, because you're in a city that does not care about college football. I put 75% of this on Larry Scott, 25% on Clay Opkoff.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Think about it. I mean, people out in San Jose, they and in the Bay Area, they drinking wine. They chilling. Sausalito, I mean, they just hanging out. Football, you don't look at that place being. Well, although it's a lot of good football players from that area that goes to other places, particularly California, like Alabama, Bryce Young, and all the top quarterbacks. I think I interviewed. I interviewed the kid from. The kid that's quarterback for Boston College, and he's from California. I said, man, why the great quarterbacks come from California? He said, well, it's just in the water. That's the way it is. I said, okay, cool. That's what. Tom Brady's from California.
Oh, he is?
Oh yeah, TB is from the Bay Area. Now I think about it. Aaron Rodgers from California.
Of course.
So. Hey, maybe something to that. What my man said, I gotta get his name. I can't remember what his name we interviewed for. But here's Heather Dinich who talked about big impacts on losing the Pac-12. Let's see what she had to say about this deal.
It just blows my mind that we're asking this question, especially about such a prestigious academic institution such as Stanford. And it's quite possible that they could land in the Mountain West. But why that's so significant is because their operating budgets at a school like Stanford, which has about 26, 27 sports, is usually around $30 million or more. And so if they were to join the Mountain West and take a significant financial hit, their sports would have to be cut, almost certainly. And I'm going to give you something to think about here, because Stanford is like a pipeline to the United States Olympics. And if you're cutting those sports, you are certainly cutting and hurting some United States Olympics rosters. I mean, I don't know if people are thinking about that, but that is a macro version of what we're talking about here.
I mean, it's Olympics. Okay. Okay, Heather. Yeah, we hadn't thought about that. I mean, I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but I might care about it. Well, let me tell you something. Stanford got the largest endowment in the country. Stanford's going to be okay money-wise. They will not be hurt. That's why I think they're going to play the role of Notre Dame going forward and not even being really part of Notre Dame's part of ACC football, but basketball, but not even being part of the doggone a conference going forward. Let's hear help again on the SEC not being worried about what's going on with all this movement. Let's take a listen.
One of the things I'm most comfortable saying right this skinny minute is that the SEC, I don't think, is in any knee-jerk reaction panic type mode, but we're also at a very real point where this isn't over, it doesn't feel like. It's never over in college athletics, but I also feel like it's never been this volatile before either.
I think I got a good poll question because I thought about some on the weekend. I heard some people talking about it, and I'll clue you in on that in a minute, A-Town. Let's hear from Marty Smith. We hear Marty Smith. He Mr. Carter's football guy, funny guy. He talked about Carter's growth and alignment happening too fast.
It's unreal, and it's dizzying.
Yep.
And I don't know what to think of it. I just don't. I don't have the foresight and the vision to see like Roy Kramer does to see what's coming. But it's all happening so fast. You just got to be careful what you're wishing for, because we've seen in the past where all of this growth this quickly can be really, really bad.
No, and I'm curious of what he's talking about when you say that. I mean, everybody jumping. I mean, almost every day we hearing somebody leaving somewhere, and then people trying to court, the Oregon states and the Washington states, and maybe they moving to the Mountain West or whatever. It's the Pac-12 is definitely done. But there's a couple of things that a buddy of mine, Tim, pointed out over the weekend. Sent my article. Since both men can make an article on. Just people don't realize this. If you USC and you got to go to, I don't know, Rutgers on a Wednesday night or Thursday night to get ready to play them Saturday, then you got to fly back Sunday and be ready to go to class at 8:00 the next morning. Man, who does that, right? Just your quality of life is going to be. It's going to be jacked up. And it may have some mental health effects. You never know how things like that would affect people. And I wonder have they thought about that with all these changes, with all this movement, right? I wonder how they thought about that. So that's one thing we're going to talk about some more. But let me ask you a question, A-Town. In your opinion, if you look at the ACC, which school or schools, in your opinion, you think the SEC or the Big Ten will want
Out of the ACC?
Yeah. Which give me the top schools, the top two schools you think they'll want.
Well, definitely I would think UNC.
Okay.
And maybe Dabo, Clemson.
What's really interesting, and we should make that a poll question today. I want you to pick. Let's pick Clemson, Virginia, UNC, and Duke. And I'm gonna give you my opinions about which ones I think they would like just jump off the page for. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit. But tell me something people don't know right now. H.I., what we got?
The city of Raleigh celebrates the 50th anniversary of hip hop on August 12th, and you're invited to join the party. This record-setting day will feature music, culture, performances, art, vendors, food, and numerous activities encompassing both free and ticketed events. There will be a hip-hop symposium, block party, and Raleigh sneaker ball. For more information, go to cityofraleighmuseum.org. Again, this is Saturday, August 12th. Let's celebrate with the city of Raleigh 50 years of hip-hop.
Oh, this will be a great event. Can't wait to get down and check that out. On the other side, we're going to talk about the ACC, the most popular ACC schools that people will be just vying for to come join their conferences. We'll talk about that. Plus, talk about a baseball game that turned into a boxing match. All we're here next on the Sports Shop. Let's go.
Sports from